I'm Emily, and I'll be talking about physiological barriers. Physiological barriers can be when teachers and students won't understand each other. That could mean when a teacher is talking too low and the student can't be able to hear her, so he may need her to speak a little bit louder and a bit more clear with her words. Something else can be when a student can come from different places like China, Russia, Mexico. That can be because some words can mean something different to them, and it can have a different meaning for us, which that could be a miscommunication as well. Some other kids can have personal problems, that being that they can't hear or see, or they may have light sensitivity, so they may need the lights to be lower, they may need some letters to be bigger, they may need the voice tone to be louder as well. The definition of psychological barrier is ill health, and that could mean that they could have poor eyesight or hearing difficulties or pain as well, which this can be difficult when they go to workplaces, during classrooms, and during their personal lives. Some people have a questions like if they think like if they're sad, will they be able to get messages through? And some people say no because if they're sad, most people close their minds. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to see anything. They just want to be in their own world, which that can be a problem because they're not hearing what you're trying to say. And as small kids can go through first day of school or their new teacher, as well as meeting new kids. So that can bring a problem where kids don't want to talk with other kids. They don't want to listen to what the teacher's trying to say. So that's where the kids may get sad, and that's where they may close into their own world and not hear their teacher or the problem they may have. Psychological barriers can be false assumptions. It can also be anger, overconfidence, implications, and interference. Anger can be a problem as well because a person can get mad as well as like being sad. If a person's angry, they may throw things, they may not want to hear people, they may just want to go to their own space, and that's where it can become a problem. If they're angry, they may need to hear their teacher and calm down to be able to get along with other kids. But there may be other kids in the classroom that have overconfidence, which can make them think that they're bigger than the other kids, and which can make the other kids feel a little bit more bad about themselves, that being them thinking they're a bit slower or not as intelligent as the other kid. So that can be a problem where the teacher has to make all the kids feel the same, but let them know they can still be themselves. And that can be a barrier because some kids, being that small, like to so overpass other kids, and it may be good in some things, but it may be bad in some other things. False assumptions can give another barrier, that being that some kids can come up as being bad kids and some can come up as being good kids. It technically doesn't make that they're either good or bad. It just makes it hard for kids to communicate, that being that if they see a kid is being mean or angry, they may not want to communicate to other children. It's more easy if they see them more joyful or happy with each other. Maybe that makes them a little bit more comfortable to be able to speak. If they see that the teacher is too quiet or the teacher is too serious, they may not want to speak to the teacher as well. They may just get there and do what they have to do. And that can be a problem because some kids may have problems at home and they may need to speak to some teachers. But if they don't feel trustworthy with their teacher, they may not do that. So that can be a barrier as well. Some examples can be what places could physiological barriers affect a person, and the others could be how can emotions be affected by physiological barriers. Where physiological barriers can affect a person in their workplace, school, time zones, and environment. In a workplace, physiological barriers can be hard if you have to be teamwork, because not everybody can be as giving as some may be. So that can be a problem where a team leader may say something and the other ones don't want to follow. It can also be as in some workplaces there's Mexicans and white people working together, where Mexicans may not understand what the white people are saying, and there can also be like maybe racial problems with that, being with miscommunication. In school, there can be problems where the teacher's not going enough for the kids, like not being there for the kids, that being them needing the voice tone difference, the lighting difference. Some kids may need posters or may need pictures to understand, because some kids need a little bit more stuff to understand. They just don't understand by words. So pictures may help, and that's where physiological barriers come in hand, because if they put pictures, maybe a children will understand better. Time zone difference can be another problem, that being that here it could be 10 and in another place it could be 8. So daylight and nighttime can be a big difference. In the school environment, physiological barrier can be a big problem at school, especially with small children, because their first day at school can be a big problem with them. That being that they're used to being to their parents, and them going off during summer can get them really used to their parents and at home. So it may be something new to them, coming to a classroom full of kids that they don't know, and to a teacher that they don't know. That's where they start experiencing new emotions. They can feel mad, they can feel sad, some kids feel happy. It just depends on how the kid may take it. Other children's come from different places, which means that in this new school year, children can come from Mexico, from China, from another place. And that's where most children get together on the first day, and that's where the new emotions come in. And that's where a teacher has to be more present with them to make them feel welcome, make them understand that they can get along to each other. That being that with the physiological barriers, the new kids may need a person to speak both languages to be able to understand both of them. They may need pictures to understand, because kids that come from different places don't understand the same language as us. And they may need pictures to be able to physically see what's going on. Other kids may need hand signs to be able to understand how something goes. Some kids don't need hand signs, so that's why some people recommend to just do small hand gestures so the other kids won't get distracted. That being with other kids, they may need quiet, so they may need the kids to be calmed down and not be making as much as noise as the other kids. A difference you can make is that some teachers can talk loud and they can make small hand gestures, as I've been saying, so they don't distract the other kids, but it makes the other kids more comfortable and understand as much. Teachers can also ask questions to make them so she can see if they're understanding what she's saying, or to see if they need help with anything. Questions can also help with her seeing what they're actually captivating from what she's saying. Emotions can be a big problem, and that being that in school, like I said, kids can get emotions when it's the first day of school. Like I said, if a person or children is feeling sad, they won't listen to anything. So if a teacher is trying to come up to them while they're sad, they may need to take some time to be by themselves to understand what they're feeling. Sometimes if they feel like you're coming angry towards them, they may become angry or they may become sad. And that's where miscommunication becomes, because they're not going to want to talk, or they may become angry and they may get in trouble, especially in school. Some kids may be closed-minded, that being that they learned it from home or they just personally like that. That can be a problem because they won't open up to new ideas. They will just become to their own ideas. Overconfidence can be another thing, where they won't want to be as helpful with the other kids. They just want to do it by themselves. They don't want to do teamwork. And apathy can be something else, another problem. Language barriers can be a problem because of culture difference. For example, where we come from, to say us is a different word, where Mexico says us as another word. And the word we use to say us, it has a whole different meaning to them. So that's a big that can be a big miscommunication, especially in school, when a lot of kids come together from different places and where they have different meanings to different words. And that can become a problem because other kids don't know that has a different meaning to them. But that's where the teacher has to come in and kind of try to help them understand how culture difference is a thing, so they don't become with the physiological barrier. Another thing is, if a student has a poor eyesight, they might need to be at the front of the classroom to be able to see the board, to be able to see the teacher, or to be able to see the assignments. If they have poor hearing, they might need the teacher to talk a bit loud to be able to understand what she's saying. Some teachers may use projectors. That helps a lot if the kids don't have glasses but they still need to see what she's writing. That can help because she can make the letters bigger. Something that can help with poor hearing, that can be maybe if she gets the kids to settle down and her using a projector, maybe the kids can hear her better. Or if she uses videos, you can turn up the volume, and maybe the kids can hear video better. Some helpful things that I think would be helpful throughout the classroom is posters. Posters can make letters bigger, and they can draw a picture. And they can give a kid an idea what she's trying to say. It can also remind them of what they've been talking throughout class. A projector can be helpful, like I said, if they have a bad eyesight. That can help with them seeing big letters and seeing bigger pictures. And that can help as well as if they're not comfortable in being at the front of the class, they can be at the back of the class and still be able to see. Voice tone can help with kids that don't have good hearing. Some kids don't even know that they have bad hearing until a doctor tells them they have bad hearing. So voice tone can help, especially with kids that are shy, that they may not hear what you're saying, but they're shy to raise their hand and ask again what you were saying. So voice tone can help a lot with kids being able to hear the teacher and what she's assigning them. Hand gestures is kind of it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because if she does big gestures, some kids may become distracted by it, because some kids get distracted easily by anything. Some get distracted by hand gestures. They can easily get distracted by anything that's walking past by, but some kids feel more comfortable when teachers use small hand gestures, so that can help a bit more. Some kids need better lighting. Some kids say that they work better with lights turned off. That can also help some kids. This is just a chart that I found helpful with physiological emotional barriers. And those are the websites that I use. Thank you.